The Detroit Lions are open to trading David Montgomery. He wants to be traded. He's kind of gotten phased out. He used to have like a 1-to-1 timeshare with Jahmyr Gibbs, but Jahmyr Gibbs is probably the best running back in the league, him or Bijan Robinson. So naturally, they're trying to give Gibbs more touches as he enters his prime, and that's going to come at the expense of David Montgomery, who's 29, and he's a hell of a running back. He could start for most teams. He's not really the fastest guy to the edge, but he's a really freaking powerful between the tackles runner, and he's exactly what the Niners don't have, and he's way better than Brian Robinson. He's way better than Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason was the perfect complement for Christian McCaffrey because he just ran so much. He was so much bigger than him, ran so much differently than him, and people were kind of on their heels when Mason would come in the game, and they weren't ready for that type of speed and power or that explosion in power. Dave Montgomery's like that even more. And it's like, well, would he want to come to the Niners? He wasn't happy with his workload in Detroit this past year. His workload was what? Let me get you that. He had 158 carries. That upset him. He started no games this year. He wants to be a starter. He wants, I don't know, 10 carries a game. He got 9 carries a game. That pissed him off. The year before he had 13. The year before that he had 15. And I know you're thinking like, well, how is he going to get that with the 49ers? I don't know. Didn't even Christian McCaffrey acknowledge at the end of the season, like, hey, I would not be against having someone to split time with. Didn't he sort of say that, like, if they want me on the field, I'll be on the field. I'm not going to ask to come off, but of course I'm open to splitting time. I think he knows that he can't handle another 400 touch season. I think he wants to have another extension. I think he wants his career to keep going. And at this point, at 30 years old, there's no shame in having a timeshare and being like a 1A, 1B type of running back and not like a bell cow. I think he'd be open to it. So if the Niners were to trade for David Montgomery, cost him a 5th round pick, maybe they could trade him Jordan James. He was a 5th round pick last year. You guys need another running back to complement Jahmyr Gibbs. Here's Jordan James. We'll take David Montgomery. And David, we're actually going to use you. Instead of what we did with Brian Robinson, we're going to give you 12 carries a game, and you'll start half the time. And Christian, you'll start half the time. Or we'll actually have some personnel packages where you're both on the field at the same time. But isn't that the kind of change of pace you would want with Christian McCaffrey? Like, that guy, he was in the same type of timeshare with Jahmyr Gibbs, who was like a young Christian McCaffrey. I think that would work. You just have to actually use him. Because if you don't get David Montgomery, I mean, imagine him on the Seahawks. Let's say the Seahawks lose Kenneth Walker because he balled out in the playoffs and he goes somewhere for a bunch of money and they don't want to pay him. If they trade for David Montgomery, he might be better than Kenneth Walker. Or just as good. I wouldn't want to face David Montgomery. I mean, if the Lions had stuck with David Montgomery and kept giving him the ball in the NFC Championship game in 2023 or 2024 against the Niners, they win that game. If they had been as committed to David Montgomery as the Seahawks were to Kenneth Walker in the playoffs, the Lions might have won the Super Bowl in 2023. I think he's a hell of a player. And correct me if I'm wrong here. Where did he go to college? He went to Iowa State. He was at Iowa State from 2016 to 2018. In 2018, who was the quarterback at Iowa State? Oh, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, that was his freshman year. Does Brock Purdy have a middle name? I don't know. Brock Richard Purdy. Did you know his middle name was Richard? Dick Purdy. His middle name is Dick. That's crazy. Brock Richard Purdy. Wasn't that Jimmy's middle name too? Jimmy Garoppolo. James Garoppolo. You don't have a middle name? How do you not have a middle name? That upsets me. Okay, what were we talking about? Dave Montgomery. He went to college with Brock Purdy. They overlapped 1 year. Why not? I think that would be the move. Not Breece Hall. Breece Hall he also went to Iowa State, didn't he? He's more like McCaffrey. I think it'd be nice for the Niners to get back to like running backs who really freaking run hard. McCaffrey was fun for a while, You're never getting another McCaffrey, and he's not that player anymore. You don't have to have a Swiss Army knife at running back who leads your team in catches. Well, you just need a guy who runs hard and gets like 5 yards a carry. You don't have to spend a bajillion dollars. You don't have to throw 70 passes to the guy here. Now, if they do want to get another Christian McCaffrey, the guy I do like Kenneth Gainwell. He's a really good player. He's a really good receiver. He might be a better play. If they were to get Kenneth Gainwell, here's the thing. If they get David Montgomery or if they get Kenneth Gainwell, you might have to bring Christian off the bench. I think David Montgomery, no, I don't, it's not that, I don't think. David Montgomery is a better runner right now than Christian McCaffrey. Is not a better receiver. Kenneth Gainwell is a better runner right now than Christian McCaffrey and maybe a better receiver too. Can the Niners trade Christian McCaffrey right now? Christian McCaffrey over the cap. Let's see. What would happen if they traded you today? Oh, they'd have 10 million in dead cap and 21 million. They would save no. That sucks. Kids, this is why you shouldn't extend old running backs. They could trade him next year and save 12 million in cap space. They probably will trade him next year because his cap number is reasonable. This year is 10 million and next year is 26 million. If they extend him, good God. So really, yeah, this could be the last year with McCaffrey. They could cut him next year. They could trade him next year. But they can't have another year where they're averaging 3.8 yards a carry. And yeah, bringing in Ioane or whoever at left guard will help. But yeah, if they bring in another running back, it's going to be interesting to see if Christian's actually better than that guy. If they bring in David Montgomery, I'm starting Montgomery. Christian, you are now our third down back. You are a change of pace back, and we'll put you in the slot sometimes. But on 1st and 10, we're handing it to Montgomery. Period. I think Montgomery, a 5th round pick for this dude, he's a hell of a running back. Trade Jordan James for David Montgomery. Jordan James never going to play. You're not allowed to play offense for the 49ers until you hit 28. You have to have your frontal lobe completely developed before you can play for 49ers, at least on offense. Brock Dick Purdy, man. How did no one know this?